Yay! This is fucking weird. I don't like this. It's sad and depressing. Hello, Ash. Hold on, apparently I have to sign in to chat. What the fuck? Okay. 1 second. Let me sign into my own YouTube. Jesus Christ. This is weird. This is like really weird. So, I was just trying out the Streamlabs thing. I have no idea what's going on. No idea at all. That's okay. Because that's how it generally happens with me. I don't know how to bring people on my stuff. I don't know nothing. Can you even hear me? Yeah, I know it's sad. I don't like it. Like, my stuff's all crooked and everything. So yeah, I'm just trying to see how this stuff works. What's going on with it. Beautiful Army BTS love. Which, by the way, P.S. I have bought tickets for to go see. And the concert got postponed. I understand why. None of us want our boys to get sick, right? And personally, I don't want to be stuck at Georgia Tech Stadium, uh, next to all these people and get the Rona. But I'm still sad though. I use Streamlabs when I game, but like I haven't used it for chatting. So I don't know. I have no idea what's happening right now. Oh my god. Yeah. So yeah, I was super, super, super excited about my BTS tickets, and I still have them. It's just the concert got postponed, so now I'm all sad pants. Jeremy fuckers, that's right. That's right. I can't even go see my mother because my mother had open heart surgery, and like with my asthma, my fucking bronchitis decided it was going to hang on forever and ever. So my doctor's like, maybe you shouldn't go see your mother. And I'm like, fuck. I really want to see my mommy, but I can't. Not a damn thing. Working my ass off. Working my ass off. Denying people warranty claims because it makes me happy. What have you been up to? La 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 la. So I was gonna do story time, but I think it might be a little too late to do story time. So maybe next time. Yeah, nobody wants the Rona. Wait, what? Mm, Who is that? Who's Sean the Brit? Welcome, Sean. I have no idea who you are, but welcome. shit. You're working from home. They're estimating you're probably gonna be working from home until August. And I thought working from home was gonna be amazing. 'Tis not, because I'm at home, but I can't do home things. And I've never been yelled at by my boss at my own house. So that's new. It's adorable. It's super cute. Ash is my partner in crime. Her and I like to cause trouble. 안녕하세요, Sean. My name is Minnie, or Tiffany, or Tiffany, or that bitch, or whatever you want to call me. It's fine. 반갑습니다. Nice to meet you. Poor Diane. You leave her out of this. This is you cannot you cannot let her fall prey to her inexperience with technology. That's just mean. Oh, poor Randy. I love them. I don't care what anyone says. I love them. It's nice to meet you too. Are you an actual Brit, or is that an acronym, or are you just pretending that you're a Brit? I mean, please don't be offended because I don't know who you are, so I'm literally genuinely asking. My arch nemesis is nice, nice. I have this thing, so I work for a warranty company and like the calls will be great all day. Well, I shouldn't say all day, but all morning. And then you'll hear just someone go, California's awake because we're on the East Coast. So our calls are great until California wakes up. And then we're just inundated with call after call after call from California. It's ridiculous. Bougie fuckers. Ash. So last night in Diane's chat, every time someone said Tiffany, your brain just goes, "Hey, that's my name. What are they saying about me?" And it took me forever to like to put it in my brain. They're not actually talking about you, Tiffany. Calm down. Sean, literally, like, okay, so I have asthma and I got bronchitis, so that was like a no go. It was right when the coronavirus started getting bad. And so HR was like, if you have any kind of upper respiratory, you need to stay home. Don't come in. We won't fault you for that. And I was like, sweet. So I went home and went to the doctor or whatever. And they said, yeah, you have bronchitis. And it was pretty bad. My lungs were really swollen. And so I've been working from home. And as I'm working from home, um, well, Sean, this isn't just a warranty for one thing. It's a whole home warranty. We're underwriters. We actually let other companies use our warranties. So, but anyway, so I've been working from home, and as I'm working from home, getting over this bronchitis that just like kind of hung on to me forever, the virus, the infection in our city got worse and worse and worse, and then it got worse and worse all over the world. Clearly, I mean that's just what's been happening, and so our company's like a whole home warranty, right? So like these people were calling and be like, from California and from New England, I must say, they would be like, yes. My dishwasher is broken and it's been broken for 2 weeks, and I want to know what you're going to do to fix it. And also, the technician that you assigned to me does not want to come out because they're afraid of the virus. What am I supposed to do without my dishwasher? I was thinking to myself, bitch, I was a dishwasher for 18 years for my mother. I was 18 before she got a dishwasher, a legitimate mechanical dishwasher. She had a dishwasher for 18 years. It was called My Hands. I just don't get people who are worrying about their fucking dishwashers during a fucking pandemic. It doesn't make any sense. It's not making any sense to me. Your refrigerator goes out, you've bought a shit ton of food to survive the isolation. I get that. I'm going to try everything in my power to get your refrigerator cooling your food down again. But your dishwasher's leaking water and it's not even that bad of a leak and it's not damaging your floor. Where are your priorities? That's why everyone in this country is sick because nobody is getting their priorities in order. The same, duh, right, Ash, right. Right, exactly. Exactly. And I don't want to be mean to anyone. They do pay for this, right? But the lady was like, one of the ladies was like, I pay such and such a month and you will fix this. I'm like, ma'am, I can't make technicians. I can't force them to go where they don't want to go. We don't own these technicians. Don't you understand? They contract with us. They're third party technicians that contract with us and agree to accept third party billing so that they can help our homeowners. We can't force them to do something they don't want to do. And in some states, in Cincinnati, was it Cincinnati, I think? I think so. Anyway, if I'm wrong, forgive me. In Cincinnati, there was a lockdown, there was a travel ban. And so no one was allowed out of Cincinnati. I think it was Cincinnati. I could be wrong. No one was allowed out of the city. No one was allowed in the city except for essential travel. And so she was like, "You need to get someone here." I said, "Ma'am, the people in your area, they're not going into homeowners' homes. I'm sorry, they're just not. It's not that we're not letting them. It's that they are telling us outright, we will not go in any in any homeowner's home until this is done." Right? So, if we can't find someone in their area, generally what we do is we reach outside of their area and get someone to come into their home. However, there was a travel ban, so we couldn't even do that. And she was like, "Y'all better find somebody or we're going to cancel our contract." I'm like, "But you better just go ahead and cancel your contract because it ain't going to happen." Hookers are not essential, Ash. We have tried to get that on the agenda, but apparently, hookers are considered non essential. And unfortunately, our company decides whether or not we send out technicians. We can ask them to go out, but we cannot make them go out. So we're still operating in the capacity that we're requesting them for the homeowner, thereby fulfilling our part of the warranty. But at the end of the day, if they don't want to go to the homeowner's home, we cannot force them and we cannot cancel their contract during a pandemic. If they don't want to go because they don't want to get sick, dude, they're not going to go. You beg to differ. Ash, are you in need of a hooker? Eskimo hookers are the best. Just going to say it. I don't know that from experience. So, Ash and now Sean, I want to tell you a story. Do you guys want to hear a story? It's really disturbing and really, I've been fighting it alone without the community because I was scared of retribution. I really wish I could have done it with the community, but so I want to tell you what happened and why I've been silent for such a long time. If you guys want to hear it. And please do excuse the sound of my vape. Okay, well, first of all, Ash, there's nothing wrong now. Okay. It's been handled expertly. And but there was a very large fear of retribution. So that's why I've been absent for a long time. Only one other person knew about it, and that was Wendy. I think Diane knew too, but Wendy really helped me through a lot of the hard parts of it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make this as little as confusing as possible. My uncle is 4 years he's only 4 years older than me. So we grew up together. We grew up very, very close. And, he and I were super close, like, for the longest time, we were inseparable, and then, like, we moved out of each other's city, so we weren't anymore. However, we stayed close as family, and we saw each other on the weekends or whatever. He grew up and stayed with my grandparents to help them out with their bills, and, well, I asked her not to tell anyone anything at all. Anyway, he stayed with my grandparents, which is where he lives now, to help them with their bills and help them with their house. The house is pretty large, and my grandparents are ailing. So, that being said, he's always been kind of quiet, and I guess his sexuality was in question as well, though we really all knew that he was pretty much gay, which didn't bother any of us. Not a single person in our family cares whether or not you're gay. Um, so in fact, I think my parents would judge you more for getting an F in his class than they would for, you being gay. But anyway, so I get this message from my mother a few months back, which you'll notice is when I started getting like really quiet. And it says, your uncle, which is my mom's brother, obviously, has gone to Pennsylvania. He's gone for 6 months to train for Walmart. Okay. My uncle's been with Walmart for 25 years. He actually makes a shit ton of money with Walmart. But I also know that that sent up a massive red flag. No one trains for 6 months for Walmart. Sorry, they just don't. And they definitely don't do it outside of their home office store and all the way in Pennsylvania. So immediately I was like, this is not right. This is just not right. And then I look at my uncle's Facebook and he said he had changed companies to this other place called Feet Peace. Telling you right now, once we're done, if you search these hashtags, you're going to see what I'm talking about. So I messaged my uncle. What are you doing there? Why did you lie to my grandparents? Why did you lie to my mother? Why did you abandon your dog? And if you know anything about my uncle, which you don't, but I do, is that my uncle would never abandon an animal. Ever. So I was like, something is wrong. Something is so wrong. So no one wanted to listen to me. So I put on my little sleuth hat, which, to be honest, I can find out a lot of things. It's just when I get that information, I don't know what to do with it. I'll put it in the chat. Here's the first hashtag you can search. As we go along, I'll give you the others. So anyway, the picture of this company was a guy and a girl. And so then I messaged him and he didn't answer me. And I messaged him and he didn't answer me. And I threatened him, if you don't call me, I'm going to call the cops. Welfare check or whatever. I didn't know where he was. I knew he was in Pennsylvania, but that was it. But, whatever. I had to try. So then finally I gave up on him answering me and I called the Walmart he supposedly had moved to. And they said they were looking for him, but they didn't know where he was. And apparently, he did work there for a minute. There's so much in this that I can't go through the whole thing, so I'm just going to give you the outlier information, which is what I had to work with. So, then I find out that he's living with this guy named Jimmy Soroka. And that will be the next one you'll search. Jimmy or Jim Soroka. Okay. Those are the other ones that you can search. And I always do hashtag searches when I meet someone. Always. Especially if their story seems really fucking strange. And most of the time, I don't find anything at all. Literally nothing. But I put in this company and I put in his name and I was bombarded by the most disgusting things I'd ever seen in my life. Yeah, I'm telling you. The most disgusting things I'd ever seen in my life. He was a scammer. He had sent naked pictures to young girls. He was an abuser. He was keeping his girlfriend away from her parents and gaslighting her about it. Come to find out, my uncle had moved there to live with him and her. My uncle was never a small man. He wasn't large. I mean, he's nearly 7 foot tall. So when I say he's big, it was just like bleh, big. He's not like fat. But within, I don't know, 3 months, he went from looking nice and quote unquote healthy to looking like a fucking hostage. And every time they did like live videos, he would look like he was just being held captive all the time. And the girl, her name is Kate, I think. Kate. Anyway, he was mentally abusing the fuck out of her. I mean, there are videos. If you look on TikTok, you can look on Twitter, you can look everywhere. On Facebook, on Periscope especially, there were a shit ton of videos of him just flat out mentally abusing her. Like on one, which is really big on TikTok right now, she went on live on Valentine's Day and said happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And he yelled at her on the live and made her cry, saying that she made him look stupid because she told the followers a happy Valentine's Day before she told him. I mean, the guy's a piece of trash. Not only that, his mother's crazy, his sister is crazy, and when I say crazy, I mean crazy. I'm not talking about pretending to be a psychologist crazy. I'm talking about when you look at them, you're like, "Oh no, girl, she can't come into my house. She crazy." Okay, you mean like when your eyes look both ways at the same time? That is crazy. And it's not just a defect, that is drug-induced craziness. Anyway, and his father, because I dug deep, was arrested a long time ago for continuous bomb threats and for like other things. I'm like, this motherfucker is out of his fucking mind. Yeah, Caitlin. Thank you, Sean. So finally, I started contacting some of these dissenters against him on Twitter. And I found one lady, I won't give her name. She knew all about it. Apparently, my uncle had been talking to this guy for 3 years. Not only that, before my uncle moved there, he had A1 credit. I mean, the man did not have a late bill in his entire 44 years of life. Not one late bill. And I'm not exaggerating. The man had perfect credit. He could go to a car lot and say, I want that one, and he's just got to sign the paper and leave. I mean, perfect. So, anyway, from this lady, I learned that he had been giving Jimmy money because he is the e beggar of all e beggars for years. Shut up, Siri. I'm not talking to you. Sorry. Sometimes my watch gets excited. So he had been giving her money or him money for years. From what I learned, it was over $10,000 that he had given him. This man broke my uncle's bank. Now, please do not get me wrong. My uncle is very responsible for what went on. But in the same respect, he went there because he was under the assumption that Jimmy and Caitlin were in an open relationship and he wanted to be with Jimmy and that Jimmy was okay with that. What Jimmy really wanted was his bank account. That's what he really wanted. He wanted his money. Then he was trying to gaslight my uncle as well. At one point, Jimmy convinced my uncle to sell his car, which my uncle had paid off outright. Remember, no late bills? That car was his. But he's also lots of people who have a lot of money, they are penny pinchers. So there was things that were majorly wrong with the car. At one point when he was living in where he lives with my grandparents, there was a high-speed chase with the cops and he was parked and my uncle was parked at work and the suspect went through the parking lot and like ripped through all the bumpers on like a row of cars and my uncle's car was one of them. So, like, it had damage on it. It had been fixed, but there was damage on it, and the windows didn't roll down all the way, and the leather was cracking, and some of the stuff inside didn't work. So, Jimmy put all of this on Facebook to sell the car, and he told them that it was cleaned every day, that it was maintenanced every month, that there had never been a wreck, there'd never been anything wrong with it. Well, that's a fucking lie. So, they never posted who bought it, but someone did buy it. And then a few days later, they were online on their creepy fucking live broadcast talking about what they had done, and because people were accusing Jimmy of taking my uncle's money. And Sean, if you learn my uncle's name, please don't put it in this chat. Hi, Stephanie. Yeah, Ash, there really is so much. I mean, like, absolutely so much about this guy. It blew my mind and terrified me at the same time. So you'll have to read through all that because I'm not going to go through all that right now. But anyway, come to find out, this motherfucker had convinced my uncle to give up his bank account and join a joint bank account with him. And he pretty much bankrupted my uncle. So going through all of this, it was told to me by a few people. Thank you, Sean. A few people that had been trying to get my uncle away from this guy who I appreciate more than anything because after 3 years, I only learned about it on the tail end of it. So, they had been telling me all the stuff that had happened and how they warned me that Jimmy had the police in his pocket and everything. Which I don't know if that's true, I don't really care, but what I did care about is he openly admits to getting people fired from their jobs when they don't agree with him, so I had to be extremely quiet about what was going on, which is why I've been gone for so long. I had to get my uncle out of there, I had to do something. I'm pissed as fuck at my uncle, please don't get me wrong. He is not without fault, not without blame in this. Um But Jimmy would go online and be like, "Yeah, I can't work. That's not gonna happen, so you guys stop doing it. I just can't work. I can't handle it." That's why he's begging. He doesn't even try to hide it. He goes, "I don't have a reason for you guys to give me money, but don't worry, I'll come up with one." He's literally admitting to being a scam, and he's still doing it. So anyway, February 2nd, my mother had a near fatal widowmaker heart attack. And if you know anything about widowmakers, there's a reason they call them that. Only about 2%, maybe a little bit more, survive them. And just, I don't know how my father happened. They were in the car. My father was going to see my sister at the barn because my sister trains horses, and they were almost there. And my mom was on the phone to my sister, and she was talking to my sister, trying to get the directions. And then my mom just went quiet, and she dropped the phone, and she started that snorting, that breathing that happens when somebody's in distress. And my dad starts panicking. Now, my dad has done hazmat, delivery, cleanup, whatever you want to talk about for almost his entire life. He lied to get his CDL back in the day and told them he was 16, but he was only 15. So he's been doing this since he was 15 years old. Um, which makes you think, I wish you could lie that easily now, but paperwork and shit. But anyway, um, he's had to do CPR on people like when the Clorox plant exploded. He had to help this gentleman that did not close his vents during the warning, and the fumes got into his home, and the man started running out and tearing off all of his clothes. But my dad, he's done like just recently, uh there was a wreck that my dad was involved in. My dad broke his fucking wrist, I think, running across a busy fucking highway to make sure that the guy that was hit was okay. I mean, my dad's not the type of man to like freeze up in a situation, but then I have to think, this is his wife. This is his wife. So he panics. He doesn't know what to do. Absolutely doesn't know what to do. He's frozen with fear. And he starts screaming in the phone, "Where's the hospital? Where's the hospital?" Because my sister's barn where she keeps the horses is not in the same town my parents live in. And it's in the middle of the country, so it's really hard to navigate through the roads. And she said, "No, stop. Do not go to the hospital. I want you to turn the car around, go not even a half a mile down the road. There's a little brick building. Pull into there. That's the 911 dispatch center." I cannot believe how quick thinking my sister was. I would never have thought about that. My dad said, "Okay," pulls into there. By this point, my mother is not breathing. Um, and he goes and starts banging on the door to the dispatch center. And these three ladies come out, and They drag my dad has a massive Silverado. I mean, it's, like, jacked up, it's got all this stuff, and they pulled my mom, who's not a small woman, by the way. These tiny little girls pulled my mom out of my dad's truck, got her on the ground, and started doing CPR until the EMTs arrived. If it was not for those ladies, my mother would have died. She would have died because they had to bring her back twice. I tell you all that to tell you I called him, I messaged him on that day and told him if he didn't come home, I would never forgive him. If my mother died while he was there dicking around, I would never forgive him. And come to find out, I don't know what the conversation was, but my grandfather, who is an intimidating motherfucker when he's mad, even at the ripe old age of 80, uh, he's so intimidating. I think I've said this before. One Christmas in the past 5 years, my grandmother got him a 1944 German sniper rifle with a scope, and he still fires it perfectly. So he's not a motherfucker out. He's airborne ranger, not a motherfucker I would want to fuck with personally. Um, Apparently, after all these years of trying to get Josh away from him, oh shit, I said his name. Oh well, it's gonna be in the hashtags anyway. After all these years, uh, my grandfather calls, and lo and behold, my uncle's coming home. I don't know what he said, but he must have said something. Um, but yeah, so this guy was really crazy. He is really crazy. And then when my uncle left, apparently, he got Jimmy was on some kind of investigation or whatever. But I had so many people, these strangers who didn't know me from anyone, who didn't know anything at all, had to prove that he was my family, obviously. Um, but they just like they start giving me these updates and like telling me how much they tried to get him out of there, telling me, what they've done for him, what they've offered for him, what they these people were willing to either go and pick him up or buy him a plane ticket or anything like that. And they did all of that and they don't know him. And it's just it blows my mind. Um so I went into a large periscope with all the people that tried to help him. And at this point my uncle was home. And they asked me if I wanted to go up on the stream with my uncle because at this point, um, that's kind of up in the air because some people say that Jimmy kicked him out and some people say that my uncle just left. Who knows? All I know is Jimmy's landlord and I spoke really well together. Just saying. Um, but apparently he's under investigation for like massive fraud, like massive, massive, massive fraud and I can't remember what else. I really can't. I wish. Oh, because he was sending pictures of his dick to like 12-year-old girls. And then he tried to say that my uncle was a pedophile. And there is proof. There is actual literal pictorial proof of this man sending pictures of his dick to little girls. I think that's the other thing he's under investigation for. I could be wrong. I, but anyway, my uncle's home. Apparently, he's still talking to this guy. But you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I mean, I don't know. Sorry, guys. I got a text. Hold on one second. My best friend has restless leg syndrome and it's driving her crazy. Um, but yeah, so I think a lot of us got together and called everybody in that town, put them on the alert. I called the cops several times. Um, you know, lo and behold, when my uncle left, they were getting evicted. Want to know why? Because my uncle paid rent. Believe me, Ash, I know that. And what pisses me off the most, and I know that they're right. I do. I absolutely know that they're right. Okay. My family is like, oh, he's a grown ass man. You need to let him do what he wants. Yeah, that's true. But when someone's in that mindset, do you just let them self-destruct? Or do you help them to see that what they think is right is actually really fucking dangerous? I mean, what would you do? Would you leave him to his own devices, or would you try to get him to see that this man is dangerous for him? Because he lost so much weight while he was there. And exactly, Penny. And get this, my uncle walked in Pennsylvania in the fucking winter, 8 miles every day to work. And I'm not even, that's like, when I back in my day, we had to walk barefoot in the snow. No, because Jimmy sold his car. Oh god, Ash, it's disgusting. If you listen to him, he's so self-involved. And he's the only fat fucker in that house. And I'm gonna say it about him like I've always said about North Korea. Okay? In a place where everyone is starving, never trust the fattest fucker in the room. Because if you watch Caitlyn's, like, her weight has dropped. She's nearly skeletal. It's disgusting. And she's terrified of him. She says she's not. But he's also, I hope you find the clip. He is also admitted to hitting her several times. Yeah, exactly, Ash. Oh, just for you guys coming in, if you would like to search hashtags for this word or this word, you'll find what we're talking about. This motherfucker sucked my uncle in and stole all his money. But like I said, my uncle is not blameless. Yeah, it's because he doesn't shower. So that is the entire reason. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking when he came out with that shit. I really don't. But apparently, he there's only one thing that I believe when he speaks is that he was abused as a child. Because if you look at his family members right now, I do not doubt him for 1 minute that he was abused at all. I don't doubt that for a second. Then get this. Oh my god. This was hilarious. Oh, this is funny. So, uh my uncle, hold on one second. Well, when my uncle was walking back from work, because remember, Jimmy sold his car out from under him. Jimmy called him and was like, "There's this package at the UPS store. He better not fucking go back, Penny, because I know where all my grandpa's guns are." Just saying. Um, he's like, "Oh, there's a package at the UPS store. You need to go pick it up. It's there." My uncle's like, "Okay, whatever, dude. I'll go get it." So he walks to the fucking UPS store and gets his package. Anyone who's bought anything from Amazon knows that it comes in very distinct packaging. It either comes with the product packaging or Amazon packaging. Um so how about Jimmy opens up this fucking box and there's a piñata in it. A fucking piñata. This motherfucker going hit this piñata like he knew he needed to hit it right then. I see a piñata and ain't got no candy in it because you can tell by the weight. I ain't fucking spending my energy to fucking break it. I'm be like, that's a cute piñata. And I'm gonna hang it on the wall. He broke it immediately. He said, "Oh, look at that." Picks up this little tiny, teeny, tiny piece of black material and says, "Somebody's GPS tracking me." Huh, bitch. There wasn't even a name label on the fucking package. We all think what he did is he took that package to UPS, said, my roommate's going to pick it up. Can I leave it here in my box? They said, sure. So my uncle came and picked it up and said it was from you, said it was from Amazon and that somebody was tracking him. He's fucking nuts. But yeah, so like I'm gonna end the stream in just a minute and I'll be back later. But I gotta go help my friend. Um yeah, y'all just take some time looking up them follow that rabbit hole down, Ash, because you'll find a lot of shit. Download TikTok just for this reason. Download TikTok and look up that name. That's where you'll see all of Caitlin's videos where she's being abused. Um Look at his stuff on Periscope. Look at all the stuff on Periscope about him. You can find it everywhere. And at some point, you're going to see my uncle in some of those videos. And you can tell he looks like a fucking concentration camp survivor. And I'm not making fun of that. It literally scares the shit out of me how skinny he got. But hey, listen, guys, thank you for coming in. I'll most likely be back. If not, I will be back tomorrow. But please go through those hashtags and think of it and do with it what you would like. Um, I just ask that my uncle be kept out of it. I don't mind comments to him. I don't mind spreading the word. In fact, I want to spread the word. Um, but let's just keep my uncle out of it for now because I don't want him to run back to him. So, anyway, I love you guys. I'm going to go help my best friend deal with her medical issues, and I will see you guys later. Love you all. Bye.